Learn to listen more deeply. Stillness and light are very compatible. In your quieter moments, as turn your attention to listening, you attract more light. The more you listen, the more facile you become with hearing your own innate wisdom sound throughout your being. This will appear to you as clarity and insight, as vision and knowing. The perspectives of your soul and your higher self are vast and more love-filled generally than your human-based perspectives. The more you spend time listening to yourself in an aligned, relaxed way, the more these higher perspectives can inform your sense of purpose, mission, path, choices, and decisions. It is important for you to realize you have many different ways of making decisions. And that decisions are different than choices, and both are different than preferences. A choice is the act of choosing among options, and you may choose differently at another time. Decisions eliminate all other options. Commit your energy and behavior to what you've decided, where preferences are things you like more than others. You make choices based on your preferences. Decisions too can be based on preferences, but they also tend to be based on your values or beliefs. In all of this you are expressing yourself, and in each of these kinds of creative acts you summon energetic support from beyond this sphere. Invite higher frequency energy into your life. The alignment you create by being in accord with the higher frequency aspects of your being, summons an expansive and nourishing energy into your life and fuels your creation with the momentum of the cosmos. When you create from these higher perspectives, your preferences are inclined toward choices and decisions that are in harmony with divine will, or the unified field. These harmonics, in turn, amplify your creative acts. All of life is extended by these kinds of collaborative, resonant focus. To take fullest advantage of your higher self, and then through your higher self, your soul's presence in this life, you must give permission and draw these energetics more and more into your field of being. You have grown and are growing in your capacity to carry light, and this will continue as your focus and form unfolds. Allow yourself to fuel this process with the conscious companionship and elevation provided by inviting and giving permission for your higher self to join you. You may do this simply by calling upon your higher self. Just turning your attention in this way draws you into a communion of light with your higher self, and then you can continue to summon your higher self, asking it to come closer, to come deep into your energy and your body, to merge with you, to flow into all your cells, to entrain your energy field with its energy and light. The more you do this, the more you prepare to merge with your soul presence. Your connection with your soul presence is made possible through your higher self. There is a frequency hierarchy within your continuum of being. Beginning to work with this consciously is of great benefit to your life. You notice when you do this that you feel more peaceful, more whole, more confident, more clear, and your life becomes more available to grace. Reorient to the true source of personal power. The ability to listen to yourself and hear your inner wisdom and know its guidance is the source of self-confidence and real personal power. The power of life is love. Power comes from love, from being connected to your own self and from allowing yourself to open to the love available in every moment and every kind of life experience there is. Many of you have issues with ideas of power. Realize that things you think are bad or evil are mirrors of where you are still entangled in the illusion of duality, the idea that one thing is better than another, and the construct of duality. To be empowered feels more comfortable to you than the idea of being powerful. Ask yourself why. These words are not actually different. They simply have different associations from your prior experiences and the beliefs and paradigms of the old reality. Release the idea of protection. I wish now to speak about something very important to me, the idea of protection. Many of you associate my presence with protection. This is something I would like to revise so that I may more clearly participate with you in your life. My intent is to support you and to be available to you as together we move toward the fullest expression of the divine plan. This guides all my activities and all my focus. It is the standard for my focus and my attention. To increasingly access the power of love in your life, each of you will learn to shift from ideas of protection to ideas of the truth of energetic standards. Standards are the true way that you create what you typically think of as protection. The problem with the idea of protection is that it takes you out of alignment and also feeds fear. To access the fullness of love from within this beautiful life on earth, you must be in alignment with yourself and be open. This means you will gradually find ways to let your guard down. In human life, many of you develop resistance to love because the focus instead is on shielding yourself from potential pain in relationships because of fear. This idea of protection is a construct within the illusion that prevents you from knowing the fullness of love. It does not serve you. It also does not keep these things from happening, as many of you have noticed. Understand, protection is essentially an extension of your energy based on fear. Of course, it is wise not to drive your car into a tree. Smile. Caring for your body by working the nature of life and making good decisions to perpetuate your life is simply wise. But caring for yourself is not the same thing as being protective. Being protective in essence is being on the defensive, and being on the defensive means steeling yourself or even being aggressive. Being protective, or wanting protection, take you out of alignment. This does not empower you, or your joy. Decide to learn to open so you may discover the abundance of love on earth. This may seem obvious, but often when you are not feeling love, it does not occur to you to open up more fully. In fact, you tend to constrict your energy, which pinches you off even more. In order to feel the love that is available in each and every moment, you have to open yourself perceptually and energetically to the fuller spectrum of energy you are capable of assimilating. There is an abundance of love everywhere in your world, but many of you do not feel this, or not consistently as you would like to experience love. There is electromagnetic energy available from the earth, there is energy in the food you eat and the air you breathe. There is energy in sunlight, and there is cosmic energy available directly through your crown chakra and through all your chakras. The more open you are, the more relaxed you are, the more you are able to access the full spectrum of energy available to be assimilated. All of this energy is love. Much of your focus along this path of awakening has been working with the healing frequencies transmitted to Earth, summoned by your collective desire to awaken. You have used these energies brilliantly, learning to ride the cycles of upliftment and to more and more confidently take place in your own healing with presence, patience, and love. Now in the new reality, you are gradually becoming aware of the more subtle energies present, and as you do, these energies actually are drawing you into higher frequency expression. They are energetically triggering you as an invitation to soften your guard so that you may open more fully to all that is presenting in your world. To notice these energies and to allow yourself to stay open may take practice. Many of you are very sensitive and as such have developed strong methods of keeping energy away from you that you felt, or shall I say feared, might impeded your joy. Of course, you are wise to want to feel joyful. It is simply that pinching off yourself energetically also tends to result in amplified fear and resistance, less availability to feel love, which then creates more fear, and also impedes the full spectrum of love energy available to you. You can see how this can become a downward trending energy cycle. Replace ideas of protection, learn to set standards to your liking. Many of you are noticing the differences in life. You are feeling more at home. You are noticing your own awareness of unity is more prevalent. You are drawn toward experiences of love and upliftment. Your lives have changed. You have left much behind and this has been hard, but you are gradually learning that you can come indeed out and play. That is part of orienting to the new energies, realizing that it may indeed be your time. To discover that it is indeed your time, you have to soften up these guards you have created so you can let more love in. It's important for you to know that you can do this safely and still have standards to create your experience. Standards are established by the way you relate to yourself. This bears repeating. Smile. Standards are established by the way you relate to yourself. The way you relate to yourself sets the standards for how you are willing to have any others relate to you. All experiences mirror your standards, so use the experiences in your life to discover your standards and then revise them if needed. Once you begin to use standards to create your experiences, along with decisions and choices, you can then entirely release the guard. Then the abundance of life can be more fully received, and if you make room to perceive and notice, experienced. Keys to participating in the new reality. These are the very subtle ways of mastery that will give you the greatest benefit at this time. These are the milestones to understand and master, the keys if you will to participation in the new reality. The new reality is an inner game. You intuitively know this, but now you must apply yourself to learn to live fully this way, as a sovereign expression, an extension into physical form, of your own divine being. Learn to listen to yourself. Invite higher frequency versions of your energy to elevate your perspective. Use choice and decisions to create based on your preferences. Use standards as guidelines for what you are willing to experience. Use the mirror of reality to see your standards, and as a feedback loop as you revise them to your liking. Let yourself be a beginner. It's simple and clear to live this way. But it's very different than how many of you lived for most of your lives. Which means these are new habits, new ways of being that must be patiently, devotedly created to become natural and for you to confidently utilize them as your process, your way of being. Love yourself enough to be a beginner. To relate to the new reality as truly new. To innocently and joyfully, learn the ways of the new reality, with no shame that you do not already know them, and with appreciation for the fundamental design of your world, so that the ability to see clearly and make changes is so beautifully made possible. You have summoned a new version of Earth into being. Now you must meet that with a new version of you. I am with you always. I am Archangel Michael.